What's up? Who that is?
Mila.
What's up, baby girl? What's going on? How you doing though? How
It's all
everybody?
good. It's all good.
Another day in the market, huh?
Yes, sir.
Another week, boy. Man, this
Another day in the market, family.
this dang. Sometimes you feel like you know what you're doing. Some days you like, man, I don't know what the
Man.
hell I'm doing. And then this day's like,
Man, that's real.
I don't know what's going on, boy.
What up,
Nah, they
fellas?
just
How we
What's
cheating.
doing?
happening?
They cheating.
They
Right.
cheating.
Yeah, they cheating.
Yeah, bro. They got a group message or something, bro. They doing what we doing right now.
You
Right.
said they doing what we doing right now. You say?
KB, you want to talk about what you going through right now? You want to talk about what you going through right now?
Yeah, y'all. So over the time I've been in the market, I learned it's best to build your account slowly. Cause bro, it feel like the market, it know what you doing.
What's
It
going
know
on,
when you
bro?
up, it's know when you winning. So it's just best to build your account slowly. Don't over leverage. Because boy, you'll be hot for a week, 2 weeks. You hitting straight. Like, dang, if I would have put just a little more on this one play, I would have been up something crazy. And every time, bro, every time you over leverage, the market
Cooked.
knows it's gonna humble you.
Hmm.
Mm.
So
Every
yeah, that's
time.
just and it's ego too. You really gotta ego and discipline.
Mm.
Man, he not lying because every single time, and that's like if you're a beginner, if you're hearing that too, like you could feel like you got one trade right, one play right, then another one, and then another one. You sticking to your rules, and then that one that you load up on wipe you out clean every
Hmm.
single time, bro. They wipe you out clean every single time. So, man, I know, brother. Hey, bounce back, easy bounce back, easy comeback. But how everybody else doing? How everybody doing? How they week going? About to go into the weekend, man.
Week is cool. Week is cool. Trying to stay patient. But the
Yeah,
market's it's just been tight,
yeah.
for what? Pretty much week and a half, 2 weeks.
12 trading days.
Yeah.
12 trading days. Yeah.
Hmm.
That's why I said they cheating, yo.
He
Right.
said they cheated.
Hmm.
There's
Still
definitely something
crazy.
going on for sure.
What'd you say,
You're right,
Mace?
though.
I said there's definitely something going on for sure.
And
It's
Mace, tell
likely
everybody
cut.
where you at right now, man, on this call, man. What time it is?
It's 3:05 right now. I'm
Mm.
laying in bed. Set my alarm to wake up for it. So we here, man.
Three or
Mm.
five in the morning?
Yes, sir. 3
Hmm.
to 5
Yeah.
a.m.
That's
He
real,
not
man.
miss and he not
Yeah.
missing it. And where you at? What country?
Hasselt, Belgium.
Wow.
South of Netherlands, north of kind of like France, I think.
Mm.
And man, I don't think everybody know who you are, bro. Tell them a little bit why you out there and what you doing right now, and how you able
Oh,
to
yes.
stay on the trades and stuff that we doing every day.
Yeah, for sure. So basically, I been hooping for a minute, played at college, Purdue and Duke, and throughout that time, basically have been investing, have been definitely been involved in the stock market. But now, up until this past year, I've been able to like be in depth a lot more and watch it day to day as my interest has grown. And so now I just recently got hurt like over the past month or so.
Mm.
And so the way I'm brought up, everything happens for a reason, right? And Nate called me, I think you called me like 2 days afterwards. I kind of made my own mental shift of like, all right, I'm gonna quit playing video games because not
Mm.
necessarily I was like feeling bad for myself or whatever, but I had time finally to play video games after a tough training summer. So it was kind of my outlet. I got tired of playing video games. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna dive into this because I got time. And then I got hurt, and I'm like, all right, I'm really gonna dive into it. And then Nate called me to join the ecosystem. And so I see that as everything happens for a reason. And so since then, it's been about 2 months now. Um, Taking leaps, learned a lot, lost a little bit. Already learned from that, just like you talking
Mm.
about KB. But definitely staying consistent with my rules, learning from you guys. And I had surgery so this coming Friday will be 2 Fridays, so 2 weeks.
Mm.
Since you had your surgery?
Yeah, I had surgery on my ankle. Wasn't anything too major. Just had to go in and get a scope. Had some bone problems and some medial tendon problems that they just scoped out. So
Cool.
supposed to be like 6 weeks.
Successful surgery, right?
Yes, sir. Should be everything's going well. It's gonna be like 6 to 8 weeks, and then we back. So, but
Good,
I
good.
appreciate all you guys. Like this
Likewise.
ecosystem, powerful, man. And I don't know if everybody was there to listen, but you were talking about the dude that you had dinner with the other
Oh
night.
yeah, I'm gonna talk about it here in a
Mm.
second.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell everybody what happened the other night.
Mm. Mm.
And just to piggyback off of what Mace just said, man. So Mace, yeah, he was at Duke last year. One of
Okay.
the vets, with Cooper Flag, right? You know,
Yeah.
Cooper Flag, #1 draft pick. Everybody know who
Hmm.
that is. He was on that All-Star team last year, and he was at Purdue for a while when they were putting up numbers every year,
Hmm.
championships, banners, all that. So Mace is a professional basketball player overseas right now. And you know what it takes to become a professional at anything. Overseas, basketball, whatever you do. And he's still taking the time out every single day to be in the chat, to be in the ecosystem, to still learn this game, watching Market Mondays, paying attention to track, because this is the way you're gonna change your life, bro, right? And we all know sports, how that works. You know, the ball gonna stop bouncing one day. But if you can develop a skill outside of the game, you're gonna be able to take care of not only yourself, but your friends and your family forever.
Hmm.
So, you know, Mace is over there. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Like he said, he's north of France right now. Set his alarm just so he don't miss the call to be with us.
Oh, that's huge. Yeah,
You
big
feel
shouts
me?
to you, Mace, for sure.
You feel me? And so you
Yeah.
always see Mason in the chat. Always Mason saying this. What you think about this? This is
Hmm.
Mason, man. This is the guy, man. So we got a really good group, bro. We got a really great group of entrepreneurs, businessmen, people that are, you feel me, taking their paychecks and turning their life around.
Hmm.
Like we have a lot of great people that's doing this, real estate, right? Accounting, all that. So yeah, man, we doing it. So what'd you say, Mace? I mean, what'd you say, Malcolm?
No, I definitely remember Mace from Duke. I was trying to remember which team he was on because I was trying to remember if he was on the team after Palo.
I think he
Yeah, I
was.
think it
He,
was a
he was
year
on this
after,
recent
right?
team just last year.
yeah. It was just this last year.
Okay,
This
yeah,
last
that's what I
year.
thought. So now
Yeah.
referencing because yeah, I'm from Seattle. Palo actually went to the same high school I went to. I actually know his dad.
Okay.
Oh,
Cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's dope. That's
Small
dope.
world.
Look,
for
this
sure.
dude Mason connected, man. This Malcolm
Yeah.
connected, man. Both of y'all, man.
Now I was going to ask you too, man. Do you know if you have family in Illinois? I asked because my best friend's last name is Gillis, and his pops was from Rockford, Illinois.
Um, I don't think so in
Okay,
Illinois. I don't
okay,
think so in Illinois.
okay,
Yeah. I got family in Indy, but I don't think
okay,
so. No.
okay.
Dope, dope, dope. Man, I know y'all heard the shout out on Market Mondays
Oh,
this
of
week.
course.
Shout out to the Indy
Hey,
family,
our boys changed
man.
that changed Silver's life, man.
Change Silver life. For the ones that don't know who he is, Caleb Silver is the chief editor for Investopedia. You know, we've been tapped into Investopedia since we was kids. Look up something finance related or what does this mean? He does the editing for the company. And crazy night, man. We met him. I don't even want to tell the story right now, but we met him in Atlanta at the VIP night. Saw him walking by himself, and we was like, "Man, that's Caleb Silver, bro." And I remember Keys like,
I said,
"Man,
where
get in the
Keys
car."
at?
He was like, "Get in the car." Keys, man, we get in the car. He was like, "All right, you know what? You know, I'm lit. I'm by myself. These black dudes, they tell me to get in the car. We going to the next spot. We about to turn up." He like, F it, bro. This is a high value man. You know, we all high value, but this is a very high valuable man, bro. And he got in the car with us. We was recording. We was talking to him, asking him finance related questions. And I just want to give a kudos. I never was able to give a kudos to us, right? Because We could have been in the car talking to him about different shorties, what's going on in Atlanta, all type of other shit. We're sitting here in the car asking him about what do you think about the overnight markets? What do you think about what's going to happen in 2026? What do you say about the small time investor that only got $1,000 to their name and they trying to become millionaires? Listen, we all lit. We all lit. We all been drinking. We all been you turning up, and we still able to lock in and talk to him and treat him how he should be treated. So I never gave us that kudos, man. But we took care of him that night. He ended up getting an interview with us, interview with me, asking him questions. Um, Took him into the spot. He ended up getting us into the spot, and then the rest was history. Turned up, and he has been nonstop shouting out Indianapolis, Indiana. He like, dude,
Nonstop.
you from Indy, dog. I got you. You know what I'm saying? So nonstop shout outs. He just shouted us out again this week on Market Monday. So man, great shout out and just a testament to who we are. You know what I'm saying? A testament to who we are as good people and how we moving. So just a couple updates, man, in the market. Jerome Powell, Federal Reserve, cut interest rates again by 25 basis points this past Wednesday. And then breaking news about an hour or two ago, Trump had just signed the AI executive order. Did y'all see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
He just signed the AI executive order. So what does that mean? Long story short, there's a lot of different states that are trying to control how AI should be built, right? With this executive non-state order, he's basically saying there's only gonna be one rule book of how this thing is about to be built out. Right? You got big states like California, you got big states like New York, big states like Texas. They saying, well, when AI is built like this, you got to put buffers in this, you got to put disclaimers on this, you got to do stuff like this. You can't build it like that. You can't put it on this platform. Trump said, you know what? We're gonna make this universal. It's gonna be one rule book, and this is how we're gonna build it. The reason why, you know, there's pros and cons to it, right? And I'll say the cons first is that when you got one rule book, right, of how something is gonna go like universal from one group, that's a lot of power with one group. Right? So if Trump is saying this is how it's gonna go for the rest of the time, Trump not gonna be off in office forever. When Trump get out of office, it's gonna be a different group that sticks by this rule book. If he signed the bill, it's gonna take them a while to get this bill unsigned or get a different bill signed. Right. So the cons of it is one group having so much power and dictating what's going on. That's a con. But I'll say the pro is when you're an AI company like Nvidia, Anthropic, OpenAI, if you got to continuously keep modifying what can happen in New York with your system, and then you got to modify it again, your system in Texas and then California, you're gonna have to keep modifying your system of what you are allowed and what you're not allowed to do. So Trump was like, you know what? We're just gonna make it simple. This is how it's gonna be built, and this is it. So you don't gotta keep adjusting on the fly. So I'll say the good part about that is that these companies can, they get one rule book. Okay, cool. This is how we're gonna build this thing out. The cons of it is, yo, if whatever Trump says in his rule book, this is how it's gonna go. If he says and wake up tomorrow and say, I feel like everyone's data in the United States should be uploaded to this server, or y'all can build through their data. That's what it is, right? Where you got Texas, California, New York, you got these different leaders that are saying, now we don't want everyone's data put into this machine. And then you got Oregon saying, no, we do. And then you got Washington, D.C. saying, we don't. And then it's like, bro, everybody got these different rules. And you're like, no, you know what? We're just going to keep it simple. So that's the AI executive order that he just signed. Jerome Powell, we can get into it, this quantitative easing, right? We understand what quantitative easing is, right? Right? We understand that, right? If not, if you're a beginner, I'll explain it just very quickly. Quantitative easing is when the Federal Reserve starts injecting money back into the economy, back into banks. right? You know how everybody feel like, man, shit tough right now. I can't get a job. I'm barely surviving. Like I don't got no money. That's because the policy has been restricted for the past 2 years. They have been trying to take money out. They have been trying to extract money from us. In the pandemic, when they did this, when they started dumping money in, it was so much money that got dumped into the economy that we were actually growing too fast from 2020, 2021, 2022. Inflation was out the roof, right? And so from that, the Fed, they'll do something called restrictive policy, quantitative tightening, where they trying to get that money back. They trying to get that shit right back out of our hands, and so they can slow the economy down, so they can slow inflation down. So that's basically the simple of quantitative ease and quantitative tightening. If you don't know, the Federal Reserve is its own entity over here. The government is its own entity over here. They work together to make things happen, but they are not controlled by the same force, if that makes sense. That's why Jerome Powell, he has his group of people, they make decisions, and he got Trump and his people making decisions. That is why Trump is working so hard to get somebody he trusts, that he rock with, that's going to listen to him into that Federal Reserve seat. So I'm hoping I'm breaking that down easily so everybody can understand what's going on with the Federal Reserve, what's going on with the government. They don't teach us this stuff in school, bro. They're not going to explain to you monetary policy, fiscal policy, restrictive policy, quantitative tightening, quantitative easing. They're not going to explain it. They want to make it difficult so we don't play this game. If we don't play this game, we're going to sit on the sideline and we're going to keep wondering how these people keep getting richer and richer and richer and richer. That is why understanding what these terms mean, breaking it down, simplifying these terms, right? Simplifying these terms, like that stuff is really gonna help us, right? And so that's kind of what I'm here to do, so I can just make sense. So just some numbers here, 2020 inflation wise. I know y'all remember in the pandemic. Y'all remember when the pandemic hit, when everybody was supposed to be in the crib. I remember I went to the gas station and gas was like the first time I seen it, it was like 195 in the pandemic. And I'm sitting there like, yo, this is lovely. You don't remember them stimulus that started coming in and everybody was getting the PPP loans and we was lit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, woo, we was getting so much money. I remember unemployment was coming in. They had I think it was like the pandemic bonus on top of the unemployment, the stimmies, the PPP loans, the businesses, the stocks, bro, everything was sweet back then, bro. Inflation was at 1.2%. 1.2%. 2021, inflation rose to 4.7%. That's a pretty big jump, right? And like I said, dumped all that money into the economy. Everything is just started getting expensive. In 1 year, 4.7. 2022, we hit a peak of inflation at 8%. 8%. That means, bro, that means the Doritos bag at the gas station went from 80 cents, bro, to like $1.95, $2 in less than a year. Less than a year. 80 cents to $2 in less than a year. And I'm talking about the little bags that we used to get for 25 cents when we was like 8, 9 years old. Those bags jumped to almost $2, bro. So, like I said, when they seen that happening, 2022, they started raising interest rates, hiking interest rates so they can slow the economy down. Now everything is a little bit expensive. We got to slow this thing down. 2023 comes, we go from 8% in 2022 down to 4.1%. So we cut that in half, but it's still a little high. Still a little high. Last year, 2024, we get down to 2.9%. While we had a cooler year last year under Joe Biden, market was flying all year. And then this year, because of Trump, the inflation has rose to 3.3%. It was actually higher, but it says it's calming down now, right? And so once it got to this 3.3% mark, that is kind of when Jerome Powell is saying, hey, I think it's that time for us to put money back into the economy so we can do what we do. right? Do what we do. I definitely think they're trying to be cautious, right? Because the definition of quantitative easing is really the Federal Reserve, they invest this money into long-term debt, 10-year, 30-year, these bonds, right? These T bonds, right? They'll put their money into long-term debt. That's the definition of quantitative easing, basically saying over the years, we're going to invest this money and we're going to be straight, right? This time was different. They did T-bills, right? And when you do T-bills, this is debt that's less than a year. So what does that mean? That means so they're going to dump money back into the economy, but they only doing it on a short-term basis. So what does that mean? That means, in my opinion, I think they're doing short-term so they can still plan and think about what they're going to do next, right? There's so much changing in the first quarter of next year. Jerome Powell is going to be out of here, right? This is going to be the official 1 year mark that Trump has been in office. The AI second inning starts next year, right? Tesla, the Optimus robots, the Waymos, the autonomous vehicles, it ramps up next year, right? Nvidia's new chip comes out next year, right? So much is going on next year that I think that I think they're being very cautious, right? T-bills means short term, less than a year, 270 days or less. T-bonds, that means years and years and years. He specifically chose, we're going to put $40 billion back into the market, but it's going to be on a short-term basis. So what that means for us, I think we need to stay invested, but I definitely think, like Ian said, like the rest of them said, something is coming in 2026, probably in the middle or second half of the year, that we just need to be ready for, bro. I know we got some contracts out to 2027, 2028. They should be straight pumping throughout the beginning of this year. I mean, beginning of next year. But, I feel like in the middle of that year, next year, I feel like we're gonna get a deep pullback, bro. I think we're gonna get a deep pullback. I really do think so. Um, Malcolm had said last week, he said, do you think the Dow and the NASDAQ is just elevated? And I said, yeah, bro, I think it's just high. Um, but Trap said it best as well. He said the market is never gonna crash when you expect it to. When everybody's saying the market falling and everybody's selling like November, a couple weeks ago, they was like, man, the market falling, the market doing this, it's going down, it's going down. They came right in, boom, 7 days in a row. Green. All Thanksgiving week, we was cooking, right? But then when everybody starts saying, load up, money is free again, I got extra cheese, I'm about to dump it into the market, that is when the market falls off. So what we learn from this is stay invested for the long haul, but always keep cash on the side. Right? Just like bro, if you from the inner city, you understand how the streets work a little bit. You understand how the streets work, bro. You never run out of re-up money. You never run out of re-up money. You always got something in your stash just in case, bro. You always take care of yourself. What if somebody step on your product, somebody step on what you working with, and now they done messed up the whole bag. Now what you got left? You don't got no cheese for the re-up. You always got to keep something on the sideline just in case, right? Just in case. By time, by quality, and by on a deep discount, bro, you let everything else work itself out. You let everything else work itself out. By time on your contracts or by shares. Those are timeless, right? By quality. Make sure the company is a quality company, right? Of course we all mess up, we all put in plays that we think is gonna go higher. For me personally, I put in an SMR play, right? I put an SMR play, especially in the nuclear energy space. I've been watching them, I'm looking at them. I'm like, yo, they around $40 a share. I'm like, yo, this company can go, right? I'm looking at the fundamentals. I'm like, okay, they're not as profitable right now, but if they're going to be a key component to this AI wave, they might not go to $1,000, but I feel like they can give us a good pump, especially if you're a new investor, new trader that's looking for a good play, but that's not too expensive. I'm like, SMR, this got to be it. SMR goes from 40 to 20 in a blink of an eye. Blinking of an eye, like in a blink of an eye, right? And that's just me being transparent. You know what I mean? Like, still got the SMR play down big on it, but we learn from it and we go get it back. You know what I mean? We got in symbiotic lotto, got us a big chunk of that back. Um, we was in GS last month. VST popped for us today, gave us a $9 move today. What else? Oracle came back. We ended up breaking even on Oracle before the earnings, and then they dropped off the cliff again. So we still fighting. We still playing this game, man. We still playing this game. I think Nigel was in that Visa. He was in that Visa that popped $20 today. I don't know if Keys was still in there, but that Visa popped $20 today. I wanted him to talk about that because he was down big on that, bro. Nigel was down big on that, and he came back. And that I think he finished up. Let me see how much he finished up. Let me see. He had posted in the ecosystem too.
We back up 8%, baby.
Back up 8%, man. Talk about it, man.
Yeah, man. So it's been a journey, man. So I know some of y'all seen me post in the chat maybe a week and a half ago. Kind of the calls that I'm in. I'm in a few of them. I got two in Hood, one in Alibaba, one in Visa, and then shit. What's the other one? Oh, Palantir. So yeah, so I bought that. Um, that call in Visa, um, November 5th. Right when was the government shut down. A lot of uncertainty, but the market wasn't presenting anything. Any uncertainty at that time for real. So but shit, a little bit after that, it presented its true colors, which was blood, right? So shit, we all seen. So yeah, so I had it all. I bought it out till what was it, mid March,
Yep.
and shit, man, we back. We back in the green now, man. Shit, I mean the main thing that that taught me was just not getting emotionally attached to the cause, man. Just gotta
Mm.
once you pull the trigger gone. I mean, once you pull the bullets gone and everything, it is what it is. At the end of the day, you just gotta push through, stay with it, shit, and stick to your strategy and know what your game is, and then stick to that. But also, look, make sure you're making the right decision on the right company, doing the research and asking questions. And but at the end of the day, like no matter how many calls Nate put in, at the end of the day, like the main goal is to put in your own calls and to, have confidence within yourself too. I mean, and the confidence comes, is not. I mean, having the confidence, put in that call, it may not hit that time, it may not hit that second time, it may not hit that third time, but shit, just the fact that you shot that ball,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying, it means everything. So
Yes.
I think that's the main thing I'm learning and continue to learn is like, uh sometimes you just gotta take the shot for yourself. But have some knowledge behind it and consult with your peoples and just make sure that you sticking to it no matter what. And knowing that shit, if this shit go left, it's just gonna go left and be okay with it. And but it's just staying down.
Staying down, man. Appreciate you, brother, man. Cause man, you was down big on that. I think you said 40%, and then today, what you made? You made all of it back today, 1.3K.
Yeah, yeah. So
1.3K one day. Ooh.
yeah, and I want to speak on something else too though. Like, the hood play, for example. Like, I mean, hell, a couple days ago, that hood play was looking right. Like, I mean, shit, and I think it's gonna go back. it's gonna surpass where we were a couple days ago. But I was at shit. I was down by 15% a couple days ago. Now I'm down 75%. But at the end of the day, the way just the way Hood is working and just everything that's going on and just the optimism and just the company that Hood is becoming and just all the revenue and everything that's going into Hood and just the news on Hood and everything, like I'm still in it. But and that's another example. Like, I mean, shit, it may be 15% one day, it may be looking good. We were always talking about Hood a couple days ago. Now it's like I'm down 75. But
Facts.
we still got time.
Facts.
And
And
that's
then to your point too, brother, we got time on it and it's a quality company. I want to
yeah.
read that off too. Kathy Wood today bought 124,000 shares of Hood. Mm. Hood had what it was getting beat up today, wasn't it? Hood finished
Mm-mm.
down almost $13 today. Kathy Wood comes in and buys 124,000 shares of Robinhood today.
They got a big announcement or something coming, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they do. They do. And I also they're floating out a rumor that you will be able to start trading options overnight.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
They are floating out a rumor that you're gonna be able to trade options overnight on Robinhood. Dog, they are literally this
They're
is
going to be the innovator. You got to think, all these bigger companies not going to do that because the white collar people are not, the higher ups, they not going for that. The big wigs, you
they
try to
got the
do that,
older
but
crowd.
yep.
yeah, they got the older
They got
crowd.
our
But this
parents, our
new,
grandparents, the conservatives.
yeah, the conservative. So if you look at the other portion of it, look at the bigger picture, bro. Robin Hood, Vlad is innovative. He's
Yeah.
creative. He's taking it. We've seen the stock and what he was doing. He's got the where you can have. We was talking about the other day the prediction market, the wagering. Like
Yeah.
he's going to take this, bro. If I can do all that in one, it's going. What?
I'm gonna say it first. I'm gonna go on record to say it first. We're looking at the beginning phases of a monopoly.
How
We're
you
looking at
mean?
what you say, brother?
How you mean?
We're looking at the beginning phases of a monopoly inside what they got going on. Because what's gonna happen is if I'm on FanDuel, but I'm actually really trying to get into this stock thing, there's only gonna be one app that allows me to do that.
That allows you to do both.
Not only that, I can play with FanDuel throughout the day, and then at nighttime, if they announce this, I'm gonna be able to trade overnight. Oh my God. They already got futures on there, and then they already got paper trading on there, and then they got this Robinhood legend that I just showed on our other call for the first time the other day. The Robinhood legend is almost identical to Thinkorswim. So when it comes to trading, when it comes to investing, and then they got these matches and these bonuses of bringing your assets over, of rolling your assets over from these other firms and coming over, dog. And then when you get on Robinhood, it makes you feel like I can do this shit. So
Yep.
like somebody older that's like, yo, I only call my financial advisor, I only call my broker, and they handle everything for me. You're gonna go on Robinhood and be like, okay, my money's right there. It says buy right here, sell right here, and a search bar right here. Dude, and then they got emojis on it. Then they got different color, like this, that lime green. That is a statement color, bro. You never when you think of Robinhood, you always gonna think of that lime green, bro. You always gonna think of that lime green. I think they're gonna take up so much market share in this that there's gonna be other companies trying to adopt what they do, but it's gonna be hard to. Your Charles Schwab, bro, they're not going for putting these high net worth $100 million clients on a platform where you can put, you feel me? If I think
Yeah.
LeBron gonna have 30 points tonight on the same app, No, this is
It's be
nah, that's some bullshit.
no, it is, and the thing about it, those companies that you're saying, like the Schwabs, the Edward Jones, the Fidelities,
Fidelity.
it's
Yeah.
all about control for
Mm.
them. Robinhood, they let you do your own thing. They let you
Mm.
think for yourself. They let you see it in real time, bro. Like I got accounts with Edward Jones and Fidelity, bro, and it just feels like you're so restrained, and it's so hard.
It
I mean, it's
is.
just I was. It's not hard, but they make it so complicated to make
Yep.
a decision.
Yep.
Robinhood, you can just get on there. Is everything's right there where you need it. It's like the iPhone, bro. It's wherever you need it. Everything is where you need it to be. It's very simple, very straight to the point, and they give you the updates on each
Yep.
company,
Company.
real
Yep.
time, in
That
depth.
that's a game changer. You've been peeping
Bro,
that where they'll like breaking news. It'll be announced on Robinhood now. Like
for it's
changing.
really, to me, it's like, bro, it would be silly to do trade anywhere else as a beginner for me.
Mm.
For me, that's just speaking for me. But I don't even look at my Edward Jones. Like I got a consultant, a financial consultant, and everything. But like I don't even talk to that nigga like that because it's like that. Like it just doesn't make sense for me because it's like, hell, I can get more information on my own than asking him. And the nigga really don't want to give you that much information
They
because
don't.
hell, he wants the control.
Mm.
Nice guy, relationship guy, but it's a control tactic. But that's the old mentality, bro.
Facts.
That's so old.
Facts.
And I'm gonna say one other thing before I get up off of here or whatever. But I did drop in the in our our feed or whatever.
Yeah.
The EYL did an interview with the CEO again.
Yeah,
Vlad.
today.
Yeah,
Yep.
with Vlad today. So go check that
Hmm.
out.
For
Say
sure.
less. I'm definitely gonna go watch that joint too. But and then the last thing I'll say about Robin Hood, then we move on. I also think Vlad is going to be he's going to be a staple because he's ushering in a new generation. We're gonna rise as Vlad rises over the next 10, 15, 20 years. This is our generation. Like we're gonna rise with him rather than your Warren Buffett's. They probably not too hip of Vlad. But this is not their generation, bro. We're probably about to be on this platform and be playing with this platform for the next couple decades, bro. And we're all gonna know who Vlad Tennant is. Vlad is gonna be one of those rock star CEOs, household names, just like Nvidia, Jensen Wong, or Mark Zuckerberg. I'm not saying the valuation of the company is going to be that big, but when it comes to that stardom of people knowing who you are, he's gonna be that. They already got a movie on him, right? They talked about dumb money, right? In the pandemic, the GameStop, and the AMC stuff. You know, when Robinhood was going through all that with the SEC and Vlad's name has been out there. Now I feel like it's just in a better light. I think he really rebounded. Like I said, Robinhood was around 30, 38, $40 at the beginning of this year. And that sell-off, I remember looking at my account. I was like, yo, I'm grabbing a $40 call. $38. Robinhood touched 155 a couple weeks ago. $40 to 155 in about 7 months. $40 to 155. That's life-changing money, bro. And I think they're going higher and higher and higher. So a couple things that we also need to look out for. Japan interest rate is December 18th. So that is a week from today. Next Thursday and Friday is when Japan decides on their interest rates. So how am I playing it? I think probably Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I think the market is going to continue to be consolidated, bro. All right. I definitely think we might pop on Monday. There's some statistics here that I wrote down. KB has sent it to me. 10 of the last Fridays, 10 of the last 12 Fridays have finished green. So that means if you done bought on Friday or bought Thursday night and sold Friday, out of the last 12 Fridays, you done won 10 of the times, 83% win rate. That's unheard of. Every single Friday, damn near is green. We about to see what tomorrow does too. And then Mondays, 14 of the last Mondays, 11 of them have been green, 78% win rate. So that means if you buy on Thursday and you hold Thursday and you hold Friday and you hold Monday, 11 out of the 14 times you have finished in profit. That's a cheat code. That's a cheat code. Every single time I buy on Thursday and I sell on Monday, I win something somehow, some way. That's a cheat code. So that's just what's been going on statistic wise. We're gonna see what happens tomorrow and Monday. But based off statistics, it looks like every Friday and every Monday has been green. Every Friday and Monday has been green. So that's that. And then a couple other things. We're gonna talk about Jensen. Oh, the US. Jensen Wong, and then we're gonna show these charts, and then we're gonna get off here. We ain't gonna be on here too long. Jensen Wong, I'm reading this article earlier, and he talked about I think it was Financial Times. They were interviewing him, and they said the importance of AI has scaled us to about $100 trillion GDP around the world. So gross domestic product of what we're producing out of the world, all countries together, has got us over $100 trillion. Jensen said when AI ramps up like it's supposed to, the world will be worth $500 trillion. Mapped out. 500 trillion. We're at about 100 trillion right now, 117 trillion right now. He says when AI really does what it's supposed to do, the world will be worth $500 trillion. We at 100 trillion. That means where is $400 trillion coming from, bro? We are not talking about billions and a couple billion and 100 billion. He is talking about 400 trillion more dollars is about to come from some places. I don't know where it's coming from. I really don't. But as of right now, of the 100 trillion that the world is worth, you already know the U.S. is worth 30 trillion of that 100 trillion. China is worth 19 trillion. So they only 11 trillion behind us. And then from there is the drop off. In third place, you got Germany at 5 trillion. So you got 30 trillion and 19 trillion. Then in third place is only 5 trillion. After them, Japan, 4 trillion. And then India, 4 trillion. So that means the two top dogs, US and China, it's a race. It's a race. That is why so many rules on China and Trump is doing this and Nvidia, Jensen is saying this. It's a race. 30 trillion and 19 trillion, top two countries on the planet. On the planet. On the planet. So yeah, let me show these charts for a little second. And then we're gonna get off here after this. Let's see. How we doing? Everybody straight?
Yeah, quick question on next week with Japan. What are your thoughts on what takes place and how does that affect our economy and the world economy?
As of right now, man, I think they raise interest rates.
Yeah, me too.
I think they do, man. I think they do. I think they raise interest rates, and I think that
How about to fuck it up before we get up out of there?
say, nah, it ain't Powell, it's Japan. Um, but I think they're gonna raise interest
Ah,
rates.
you talking about the Japan?
Yeah,
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 next week.
Japan
yeah,
Yeah.
raising rates. They ain't playing around. They cutting us out. I
yeah,
mean, they mess with us, but they cutting everybody out. They understand how important and how much it's gonna take away from everybody.
yeah. And that's another thing with when it comes to leadership. There's these other countries, bro. They got when it comes to leadership, they lead. I don't know what's the word. I'm not gonna say ethically because they don't lead ethically, but they lead from a standpoint of we trying to keep our country on the right direction. And if we see inflation getting out of hand, we ain't finna say, okay, we gonna keep all stocks at all-time highs and we just gonna keep this thing running. They gonna say, nah, well, we need to slow down and we need to get things situated. Not only they don't want to do it, the US, bro, we got a lot of leverage. right? We can keep stocks at all-time highs and stock market to get people richer and richer. Obviously, the bottom line of people, right, the lower income people, they gonna struggle. But when you got a lot of millionaires and you got a lot of people over 100K a year, and you got a lot of billionaires sitting in one country, in a way, in their eyes, you can afford to, you feel me, go through a struggle as an economy for a bit. Even if it don't feel like it for them, you can afford to do that. Other countries, they gonna feel it when everybody's messed up. They gonna feel it when everybody effed up. Over here, you got billionaires, multimillionaires. They be all right. They got assets. They got things giving them money. They got multiple streams of income. I feel like other countries, bro. Um, I think they're more conscious of how their economy is moving and what this can lead to if we don't get a fix on it. So I definitely think they're gonna cut next week. I definitely think that's gonna do something to the stock market. I definitely think that's gonna pull the stock market back. But as we know, these dips don't last long, bro. And that's what I'm about to show right now. These dips don't last long, bro. So definitely keep an eye on it. Definitely think we get another opportunity before the year is over. But I definitely think we come out of 2026 popping. I think we go into 2026 hitting records that we ain't never seen before, over 7,000 starting in 2026. So look at SPX right here. Um, the chart that we've been cutting up, man, for the longest. Let's see. I want to bring that back down to 69. Yep, 6,900. So look at this. Look at this chart. I want y'all to see this as I count this. So when we entered 6,800 right here, this is when we first entered it. Wednesday, November 26th. I want you to count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 trading days in a row. We have stayed in between this line and this line. We have went up, we have came down, we have went back up. 11 trading days in a row. This is why a lot of us have felt stagnant. It's not you, it's the market has literally traded in between these lines. We haven't seen anything break up, we ain't seen anything break down. This is why you probably feel like you got to be more patient right now. You kind of feel like, man, what's going on? My account barely moving. My account going down more than it's going up. 11 days in a row, we have not moved out of this zone. You really don't see that happening. You can go back to days. These things are moving up here, 67, what's that, 67, 62, and it's moving down to 6,500, 200-point swings. These are 200-point areas, right? From down here, 6,500, all the way up to 6,900. These are 400-point swings, 6,900, all the way back down to 6,500. These are 400-point swings. In the last 11 days, we have not moved out of this area. So you doing right. Like we're not doing nothing wrong. We got quality assets. We got some time on them, and we bought them on the discount. Right? We bought them on a discount. It's not that we picked the wrong play. No, we picked the right plays. The market's just barely moving. It's just stagnant, right? You definitely got your one-offs, your GEVs that went crazy. You got your Visa that went crazy today. You got your VST that popped for us today, right? You got your one-offs for sure. But when it comes to the market in totality, bro, it's been in the same zone. So stay invested, buy and hold. Look at where we at though. Look at where we finished today. We finished today at 6901. 6901. That means we are 6912 was that last close. 69 was that 6910 was that last close. 6911 was the highest close that the market has ever had since the market has been created. The highest close was 69.10, and we're at 69.01. 69.01. We are 9 points away from going to all-time highs. Guys, even though we playing this game, we trying to make money and we trying to get rich and feed our families, don't underestimate the times that we living in. Don't underestimate seeing 7,000 on the stock market. This is stuff that our grandparents or great grandparents, they probably heard about the stock market too late. But back then, the stock market was at $2,000 on SPX, 2,000, right? 1,000, 1,500, right? They were saying there was huge sell-offs in the market and Black Monday and bro, SPX went from, or they like for an example, it was going from like 1,200 on SPX down to 900. That's a huge sell-off, but 1,200 on SPX, that's nothing compared to seeing 7,000 with our own eyes. So don't underestimate the times we're living in. This is a lot of big stuff going on, bro. Like there's a lot of money being made. I'm just glad that we playing this game and we a part of it, bro. I'm glad we playing this game and that we a part of it. So I wanted to see that on SPX, and then I want to show y'all Hood, and then I'm gonna look at, let's see if this joint work. If this joint work. Playing with the Zoom earlier, there we go. Love is a gamble. Let's see, it was Hood. Look at Hood here. Looking at Hood. So I was looking at Trap plays. You know, Trap put his plays up. I was like, man, he's in a Hood play. We've been trying to get in a Hood play. And I watched Trapping Tuesdays late. And I see he's in an April, I think April 20th call out to 2026 150 strike price. And he grabbed it at like 1,500. So that was up here in this area. Today I looked at that same contract. That contract is around like 950. So if he got around 1,500 or yeah, $15 a contract, and it's worth about 1,000, we can see where the plays are at right now. I want to get in Hood. We seen that Kathy Wood, she bought 124,000 shares of Hood today. So anywhere in between here, Kathy Wood and put in 124,000 shares, right? And let me do the math real quick. Let me see something real quick. I want to see something real quick. Calculator. I guess it wipe away. Y'all can still see my screen.
Yep.
124,000 times what's the stock price of Hood? $123 a share. Let's see. 23. Let's see how much Kathy Woods dropped today.
Uh,
What's that? 15 million? 152 million, right?
I think
Or
it's
am I tripping?
15, but
15,
15 million.
15
52,
million.
52.
15.2 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
She just dropped 15.2 million a couple hours ago just on Robinhood. Listen, you ain't putting in that much money unless
Mm,
you know for sure I'm gonna get a return on that. 15.2 million on a light day. On
mm,
like, huh? Let me scoop that up while it's having a bad day. 15.2 million. And I want y'all to see how heavy these contracts are. I mean, these companies are. She put in 15.2 million and the stock continued to go down. That means 15 million ain't moving shit. That's how that's how highly valuated these companies are, bro. So on Hood, I'm definitely looking to get into play. I really want to get into play. I wanted to come and fill this gap right here. Y'all see this gap right here? I wanted
mm-hmm.
to come and fill this gap. If it get down to 112, perfect. But if it come and get this gap around 115, I love it. Only thing that I'm worried about is how highly sought after Hood is,
Mm.
that we could be, shoot, walking our kids, or we can be, we can take a nap throughout the day, or we could be on a phone call in a meeting, that it could wick down, touch, and we'll look up in 15, 20 minutes and it's on its way back up. So
That's
with
what I'm saying. Are we able to figure out what that number is to figure out what that contract will cost
Yeah, and so that's kind
roughly?
of, we talked about it on the on our little random pop-up yesterday. What I was saying is, over time I've tried to look through ChatGPT and ask, hey chat, the stock price is this. What would the contract be if it gets down to 112? And I've asked Chat, it kind of gives you an estimate, but it can't really give you anything specific because contracts are based off multiple factors. The Greeks, right? That theta, right? The delta, that gamma, right? And that the volatility, right? That IV, right? And so with that being said, we could put our contract at say $800, and it could get down here and it don't even feel. And you're like, damn, why didn't it feel? You go look at the contract. Now the bid is like 7.95 to $9. Now it's got this big stretch bid and ask. And you're like, what happened? It's so many things in play when you're playing with options. So I'll say the best thing to do when looking in a position is set alerts. Set alerts. That's the best thing I do, right? On this, I right click on my screen, right click, and then it'll say add alert on Hood. Add an alert. I want to put an alert at, let's see, if it coming wick down to, let's be safe and say 116, I'm gonna right click on this, add an alert. I do this every day. 116, put that in, boom, only once, create. Once I got that created, that line pops up. Now on my phone throughout my day, when Hood comes down and hits this alert, I'm gonna get a notification just like I got a text message. When I get that text message, oh boom, it hit my alert. Okay, cool. Now I go in the option chain. Now I go to the strike that I want. Now I go see what their premiums are paying. Then I go pay that. It came down to my price. I hope that makes sense to everybody. So that's a little trick that I do. I do them with all the companies that I'm in. Look at Tesla. Look, I already got my um price target on that. I'm like, cool. If it gets above 460, we could be headed back up to around that 473 area, this all-time highs, right? Got that above that line, right? But until we get there, you know, we still trying to figure it out. We still in the consolidated area. So that's Tesla. I'm looking at Robinhood, Visa, what a day, right? Visa, what a day. From a low of what's that? 158. Oh, that's VST, my bad. VST, yo. VST, what a day. 158, right? 158 and popped to 174 in one day. One day. This was yesterday. It touched 158 yesterday. 158 yesterday to almost 175 today. Great play. We in those VST calls. They cooking right now. Oracle. Let's look at Oracle. Oracle, man. They done did some BS, but I think they're gonna be back, right? So we had got into play around 216, right? And then for the past couple of days with those premiums, we just finished profit on Wednesday. Before they earnings, I was contemplating, should we take this? We up in profit. Should we take this? We up in profit. And then you know, they missed on their earnings. They dropped from 225. They went down to touch 186. I think J. Cole had said earlier, he was like, man, would y'all grab Oracle right here? I was waiting for it to at least come and touch that 400 day. That 184, it didn't come touch it. And it looked like it's on the way back up. On the way back up, I averaged down on that same contract that we have, and I got in a play, right, on the average down. So as this creeps back up to where we originally got in, I got another contract down here that should print for us and it should make up for that play. So that's gonna be pretty dope for us. What else? Tempest. We got in Tempest around $73, 80 call, right? We got an 80 call out to January something. So we waiting on this to shake back and get right. I feel like it could be time for the Tempest, the AI and healthcare to get back to where we need it to be. Once it get back to over 80, and I feel like it runs, it can go back to its all-time highs over the next month to around 100, right? Even if it don't go to 100, I definitely think it can at least get into this consolidated area of, let's see, at least this consolidated area of around $90, right? Once it enter this area up here, in this area up here, let's see. Yeah, I think it can get in this consolidated area. Once it gets in this area, I think it can consolidate for a bit. So it got to break above that 80 though, and then get back up there. So that's Tempest. And then a company that I have been holding off on, I've been watching for a while. I want to show y'all, add it to your watch list. It is called LITE. Lumentum Holdings. I have been watching this for a couple weeks now. And over the past couple weeks, look at what this thing has been doing. Money printing machine. Money printing machine. Lumentum Holdings, they are in the electrical products. I want to see if I can break it down. Let's see. And man, TradingView was so dope, but Robinhood, they starting to do the same exact thing. Let's see. Demand outpaces supply. They in the electrical space. I don't want to misquote what they do. Let me see. They got it. Oh, there you go. Yes, Lumentum Holdings, LITE, ticker symbol LITE, engages in the provision and optical and photonic products. It operates through the cloud and networking and industrial tech segments. The cloud and networking segment refers to a portfolio of optical and photonic components, module and subsystems, right? And y'all can read the rest of that. I'm gonna read the bottom of it. So they specialize include lasers, kilowatt fiber lasers, ultra fast lasers, diodine lasers, gas lasers, blah, 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 blah. So this company, they're very essential to the AI race as well. I'm like, okay, so another company, but they play a part of a different component, a part of the ecosystem, and the chips, and to the energy, and to the power of what's going on. They play a different sector. Remember, when you got a house, you got about, right, in a mansion, you got like 20 different rooms, right? The chip side is one room, the cooling side is one room, the products and the development of the material is in one room, and then everything got its own room. Our goal is to find what's important to make sure the house keeps going. And so this is a company I've been watching for a couple weeks, Lumentum Holdings, bro. In November on that sell-off, I was like, man, should I put in a call? I was like, nah, I gotta watch it a little bit longer. It was around 2:30. Since that sell-off, 2:30, it just closed today at 372. $140 move in about a week, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. $140 move in 2 weeks. So add this to your watch list. They about $372 a share. We ain't heard nobody talk about this. I've been watching it for a minute. Definitely add this to the watch list. Something that I'm looking to strike on here soon. LITE. And then another one, TSEM. Another company I've been watching for a minute. I think I said this in the chat a while ago. They in the semiconductor space, but they're not specializing in the chips that like Nvidia does. Tower Semiconductor Ltd engages in providing semiconductor solutions, right? It also offers tech and manufacturing platforms for integrated circuits in growing markets such as consumer, industrial, automotive, mobile, infrastructure, medical, and aerospace defense. So, another company in the semiconductor space, but they don't specialize in making chips. They specialize in making the solutions, kind of like the platforms, kind of like, the what to do's, right? Like how this works or when we got this chip company, like how do we make this company work or use this chip, right? So definitely do some research on it. Like I said, they in the aerospace, they in the infrastructure, the medical space, the automotive space, the mobile space, the consumer space, and the industrial space for the past couple weeks. I've been looking at them since that November sell-off too. They touched the bottom of $87. I said I'm not gonna strike on it. 87, they just closed today at 128. 87 to 128 in 2 weeks. So, guys, even though the market is stagnant, SPX is stagnant, there are some of your high flyers that's just been flying under the radar. These are two companies that I'm looking to strike on here soon. TSEM, right? Very, very important to the AI sector, especially the semiconductor space, right? This is gonna be a company that you hear probably in a couple weeks, couple months, like, hey, this high flyer just been flying under the radar. So I like them, and I like LITE. I was looking at FN, Fabrinet. They've been cooking too, right? We seen EYL and Troy talk about them. They came and filled that gap, 371 on that pullback, 371 to 529. About $120 move in 2 weeks, man.
2 weeks, bro. I was looking at my shares. I'm like, bro, what? Them DEV?
And then Sandis, yep, DEV, and then Sandis. I seen them
Ah,
pull back
saying this, bro. That mug is cooking for me. I ain't gonna.
183. They pull back. They close today at 241. I definitely think they're going to all-time highs. And remember, they got included in the S&P 500. So everybody forgot about that. So I'm
Mhm.
looking to put in a play on them here soon. Remember, it's always the companies that everybody not talking about no more that creep up and get you. Nobody been talking about Visa for a long time. You got people in the shares, you got people that hold it, but ain't nobody, it hasn't been in the news. And today it creep up on you and pop $20. It's those companies that people forget about. Sanders got put into the S&P 500. They're gonna be back at all-time highs here soon, bro. The all-time high is 284. They at 241. I'm looking to put a play on them as well. And then Caterpillar. People stop talking about Caterpillar. Look at Caterpillar. We was in that cat lotto. Remember that? We got in that cat lotto around.
Correct.
Yep, we got in that cat lotto around 523, and we rolled that thing up. Pause. Super 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 pause. 523. We stayed in that, and that got up to about 585.
Mhm.
We all cooked on that. It came back down to that 536 range. I thought it was gonna come in for that gap. It didn't. 536 range, and it broke out again, 536 to about 625. Almost $100 move again in about 2 weeks. So it's companies moving, bro. It's just our job to find them. It's just our job to find them. Anybody got any companies they want to look at before I put the charts away? Going once,
I might as well let's look at Nvidia.
say less. That's one I needed to look at anyway. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Is that?
Mhm.
Listen, body, no. Come on, where you at? Oh, I put him down there with the chips. Yeah, I remember. Nvidia man. Nvidia man.
Mhm.
So this is tough. All right, and I'm gonna blow this one up. This is the last chart we're gonna look at. This is tough because if you're a trader, you can see the formation that this is kind of building, right? You can see the formation that this is kind of building. And the formation that I'm talking about, obviously, it's a double top up there. Top, top, and it fell. If you're new to investing, always remember when you see something go up high like that, look like Twin Towers, one, and then it does it again, that's usually a setup for a downtrend. Whenever you see two Twin Towers like that, one and two, and it's not strong enough, that's usually a setup for a downtrend. Since it did that, it has been on a downtrend since 211. We went down and touched 169, right? So what this is also showing on a macro level, What this is also showing, which is scary. Let me see if I can put a line here so y'all can see as well. Um, what it also is showing. I know y'all see this head. I know y'all see this shoulder. And I know y'all see this other shoulder right here. This can be a setup for a longer term down. And I ain't gonna lie, it looks perfect. Perfect head and shoulders. Or if you want to move that, you can move it to this side. Big shoulder, big hefty shoulder. That's that one of them, big dog Shaq shoulders.
Hmm.
Head up here, big head. And then depending on how this builds out for the next month, this can be a deeper shoulder. Blow that up. This can be a deeper shoulder. So, man, head here, shoulder line, and then another shoulder line. If this gets up here and it gets weak again, Nvidia could be headed back down, man. And the reason why I'm saying this could happen is because it's showing the formation of it, right? Never fix your eyes to see what you want to see. Always take what the market is giving you. If I'm seeing this, I'm not about to try to hide and pray like, oh, it's about to go back up. No, I gotta take what the market give me, bro. I gotta take what the market give me. So what this means is if the chips get weak over time, like AVGO did tonight, which was crazy.
Hmm.
Um,
Seen that.
if it gets weak, um, if it could calm down. And you see, I didn't say fall off. I said calm down.
Hmm.
I said calm down. And another reason I want y'all to see this. April lows.
Hmm.
Like I said, it's the last thing I'm showing you. April lows, that bottom. Did we see what that number is? $87.
87.
87 bucks Nvidia was. Since it was at $87, it has been on a tear.
Hmm.
87, and it touched a peak of 212. That's over 150% return in less than 7 months from a company that is worth $5 trillion, bro. If they calm down to about their 400 day, 140, they are still up from their lows 90% on the year. That is, bro, 90% on the year from the lows on a company. Bro, the S&P 500 is up like 16, 17%. 90% on one company in 1 year from a big dog. That stock split. That's very impressive, bro. So I don't think they're coming down to 140 um, today, tomorrow, anytime soon. But I definitely think the build out can get us back down to this 400-day moving average. And if it gets down to this 400-day moving average, if I see some confluence on this, um,
What's the second line? The 50?
so the green line is the 50-day moving average. So it's obviously under that 50-day. The orange line where it's at right now, what it's fighting. This the reason why Nvidia is fighting around this area. It's around that 100-day. If it loses that
Hmm.
100-day, that green line it will be that 200-day moving average, and then that orange line will be that 400-day moving average. Seeing that? We seeing
Yeah.
that. So if it gets down to that 400-day, right? Say for instance, February, March of next year, things just get weak. I can see Nvidia going down to that 140. 140 is a buy for me. 140 is a buy for me. They just raised Nvidia's price target to 250. So they're saying Nvidia is going to be shit. It's not even on my screen. Over the next year, they're saying Nvidia is going to be at 250. So from where it's at right now, 180 to 250, it's crazy. Analysts just said that Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, they just raised price targets to 250. So we're gonna see what happens. So yeah, that's the charts, man. Um, that's the charts. Everybody straight? Any questions or anything? How we doing? We good? Everything makes sense?
Straight, man, straight. Yes, sir.
We good? Okay, last thing I'll say, this is our second to last call for 2025, bro. Second to last call. We got one more next week, and then the week after is Christmas. Christmas is on a Thursday. We're not gonna do a call that day. So today, next Thursday, is the last call um about investing in the ecosystem for 2025, bro. Like we done been through a lot already so far, man, and we only gonna go higher. Also on the last week of the year, EYL, they don't do an episode. So they don't do an episode their last week. We're not doing nothing because Christmas falls on that Thursday. I think Trapping Tuesday's not gonna go on either. I think he's gonna do a Christmas special. I think he got an event that they was telling me about in Atlanta, a trading event, I think around that time. Is
Shit,
that true?
I want to say it's this weekend.
This weekend.
Yeah.
I think it is this weekend. Yep,
Hmm.
this weekend. So I think a lot of the investors trading, we got about 7 days, 8 days left of, you know, being together and being on a call like this, man. So I just want to tell y'all, man, I appreciate y'all for, believing in what we got going on together as a unit, as a family, navigating this stuff together. Oh, I know I meant to tell y'all something. I had a conversation in a dinner with a health tech multimillionaire on Tuesday. Invited me over to his house, mansion, big old crib, and we talked about everything, bro. Black man, right? He went to Howard University, and then um, just a terrific person, bro. 59 years old, 60 years old. Just a little bit about him. And I'm gonna send a link so y'all can look him up too. He said when he got done with school in Chicago, grew up in Chicago. When he got done with college and went to Howard University in the 80s, he said he was so smart that he already gravitated towards a lot of white people. Right. And with him already gravitating towards a lot of white people, he's a nerd, right? I think a computer science major. Um, he felt like he didn't really have to work for his money. He said graduated at 23, 24. By 29, he had 3 million put up in cash.
Uh,
29. And I'm like, dude, what did you do to get the 3 million? He said this is the power of networking and having the right people around you. He said, my partners and my friends, their fathers own subsidiaries of Microsoft.
mm,
What? So when Microsoft bought their companies, their dad's companies was getting billion-dollar payouts. So he said that they was getting so much money that as their friend, they was like, yo, we can just give you an M. He was like, nah, I gotta work for it. So what he started doing was he was like, man, I'm gonna start cleaning stuff for them. I'm gonna start cleaning their offices. They was giving them like $400,000 paychecks to clean.
wow.
Like what? Trying to
That's
get rid of the money,
crazy.
right? Trying to get rid of it. And he's just like, man, he's running it up. He said so he really felt like he didn't have to work for it. He said by 35, he had 10 million put up in cash.
Mm,
By 35, 10 cash, cold.
wow.
Cold. And then he said that that's when things started going downhill.
Mm,
Had all that money, started buying companies up. He's putting a couple million here, buy that company, a couple million here. He said it got down to his last 3.5 million. He went all in on this healthcare company. And he said on Friday, one of the guys, one of the owners had called him, knew he put his last in it, took out mortgages on the house, loaned everything. Knew he put his last in, and he said that the owner called him on Friday and said, our biggest competitor just went bankrupt. We're going to go with them rather than go with you. The company that he put his 3.5 million went bankrupt. He said he woke up, he had nothing to his name. Nothing to his name. He said his wife at the time, he got 4 kids, his wife at the time, the lights will go out in the house. This is all in the same weekend. And he would say, I ain't paid the bill yet. Not knowing that everything in their family trust, everything in their retirement accounts, he dumped everything into this company. They are completely bankrupt.
Mm.
Completely bankrupt. Lost it all. Long story short, said he flies to California. One of his homies, remember, power relationships, power connections. One of the homies back from college, that's a big dog now, under his dad, right? Got his own company. He was like, yo, called him. He was like, yo, I can put you on right now. I'm gonna fly you out here. I'm gonna need you to sales. Got into sales. He said he started making a couple thousand here, a couple thousand here, enough to pay for his school, for his kids' school. That's it. Then he said slowly but slowly he started working his way up to the point where he got back in the healthcare space, got back into ownership, right relationships, and he was able to get his company what he has today, and the company is worth over $150 million.
Wow.
Self-made, self-made. And listen to this. He laughing, cracking up. He 59 years old black dude, laughing, cracking up. He's like, watch how funny this is. He's showing me his team, his staff. He's like, these are all the guys that work for me, showing me his website, blah, blah, blah. He was like, this guy right here, he was the owner that told me they're going with a different company when I lost it.
Mm.
I said, damn, they work for you?
Wow.
They
Wow.
work for him now. And he's like, dude, having the relationships, the work ethic, and being up on the material is what got him back to where he is now. He said the most money he's ever had in his life. $150 million company, and he utilizes AI to automate everything, where he now has operations in the Congo, right? In
Mm.
South Asia, Korea, right? Africa. He's expanding in, and he's like, dude, I have all these operations, and I'm utilizing AI agents, AI agentic, right? We'll talk about that later. Y'all know about that, but AI agentic to save on expenses of paying specific employees. So he said the best thing that ever happened to him was being humiliated in front of his entire neighborhood of millionaires.
Mm.
He said that was the best thing that ever happened to me. I didn't understand it at the time. He said, imagine your kids watching you and asking you, Daddy, why is the police and the Mayfire people taking everything out of our house? Where are we going? And he said, I had to tell my kids we gotta go check into a hotel. We gotta go check into a hotel, and this is where we're gonna live. We gonna kind of figure it um, out of a hotel. No money. And he said that was the best thing, being humiliated, being at rock bottom, um, built what he has today. And so I'm supposed to meet with him again next week. And we supposed to talk about some things, what we talked about this past week, give him background, what we doing, what I got going on, how impactful what we building, InvestFest. And he said he wants to be a part of it.
Mm.
He said, how do I invest into y'all? Where do I put my money? If it's a real infrastructure, y'all building something real, right? Y'all got people really tapped into the cause and really in the ecosystem and in the chat. I want to get behind that movement. I want to shoot if they want to fly out to the Congo. That's what KB was talking about earlier. Because I was
Mm.
on the phone with KB after it happened. He was like, "Yo, if y'all want to fly out here, y'all want to fly to my operation, y'all want to on hands experience of what it looks like to run a multi-million dollar, multi-billion dollar projected firm, healthcare firm. Let me know. I got y'all. Whatever y'all need." He said, "I want to be the one that is able to extend to the next generation what I have." And he said, the only thing that I require of you, Nate, is what he's saying to me, is that once you get in my position, you do the exact same thing for the next generation.
Mm.
Great conversation. Great dude. Supposed to meet next week. Shoot, I'm about to say, shoot, send that fund. Send them funds, my brother. Hey, the ecosystem. We need that. Hey, my brother, he need like 100 G's. Malcolm, he need 100. Sarge, he need 100. We need to spread
Yes,
it all
sir.
on yo. You said together, right? That's what I'm telling that. You said together,
Trying
right?
to see where your head at.
You're right.
See, I'm trying to see where he at. So I'm supposed to meet with him. Good dude, man. Great dude. And that's the power relationships, bro. Power
Sure.
relationships, connections, being a good person, and then, letting God do the rest.
Mhm.
All the time.
Letting God do the rest, bro. You know what I mean? I know this shit get tough in this life shit. I know the money be funny sometimes. I know relationships don't be perfect, but when you trust God and just put it in his hands, bro, um, it's gonna work out. It might not work out tomorrow morning, but eventually it's gonna work out. You just gotta keep doing your part, and you just gotta stay on it. You feel me? Stay on it, keep doing your part, and keep executing. You feel me? So that's the call, man. Love y'all, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate y'all.
Much
Another
love,
great
brother.
one. Another historical one,
Yes,
man. Another
sir.
historical
Keep
one.
cooking.
Another
Absolutely.
historical one. So if y'all need me, man, we in the chat one more day this week. And then this weekend, we chilling. You feel me? So if y'all need me, if y'all need anything, hit me, hit the ecosystem, hit the chat, and we go from there, family.
Yes, sir.
For
Appreciate y'all,
sure.
Salute,
Much
brother.
love,
family.
brother. Y'all be